into some other shit. Alex Jones.
We have some breaking news for you tonight as the InfoWars host and known conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has just moved to liquidate his personal assets to pay the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. Alex Jones owes those families more than $1.5 billion in damages over his repeated lies and claims that the
I'm doing it. I'm fucking buying it. What up? I'm buying it, dude. Fuck it. I'm buying the company. It's mine now.
Shooting was a hoax. Joining us now is senior media reporter Oliver Darcy. And Oliver, I mean, tell us what's happening here.
Austin's
and what this
here. Also, I got to piss.
Well, for one, the families are going to hopefully see some money. They haven't seen a dime since these judgments came down, meaning that Alex Jones owes them $1.5 billion for telling this really heinous lie about the Sandy Hook shooting back in 2012. It also means that he's no longer eventually going to own InfoWars, which is this conspiracy empire that he's used for years and years to peddle all sorts of lies and conspiracy theories. He's eventually going to lose control of that. It is a little bit confusing because his company's in bankruptcy court and he's personally in bankruptcy court, but because he owns the company, it's part of his personal assets, this does mean he will lose control of the company.
Well, and can we just play this? We were all watching this moment of him on InfoWars the other day where he was seeming to cry about this situation that he was in.
I believe in my parents. I believe in humanity. I just want to fucking stop these people. They gotta be stopped. We gotta stop them. So, at the end of the day, we're gonna beat these people.
Him talking about the future of this company.
I think he sees the writing on the wall there, Caitlin, and he was talking all weekend about how this was likely possible, that he was going to get shut down, and now he is agreeing tonight in court to liquidate his personal assets, which again will mean that he's not going to own this conspiracy empire he's owned since the 1990s and really used to poison the public discourse.
Yeah, I don't think he inspires much sympathy with those tears. Oliver Darcy, thank you for joining us.
Our media correspondent Hadass Gold is tracking the story for us. Hadass, so does this finally mean that Alex Jones will have to pay for years of lying about what happened at Sandy Hook?
Well, Fred, these families who have already suffered so much and suffered even more because of Alex Jones' terrible lies that he was spreading about this massacre that happened to these children, these families have actually not yet seen a single dime. Now, this ruling, or this decision to liquidate his assets, this does not mean that tomorrow these families are finally going to see some sort.
No, I didn't miss him crying. It lives in my mind permanently. If you bought InfoWars, would you keep Alex Jones employed or would you do a classic rich guy acquisition and layoff? Oof, both are fun in different ways. It's like, do I cut him out and do a, elimination of redundancy, or do I buy it and I force him to say left is shit and call me boss? Keeping him on for a while and then cutting him off ruthlessly with the best of both worlds. Oh my God. Hire him to do the sub alerts live.
Sort of monetary help in the form of this liquidation of the assets, but it is at least a step in the right direction. Now, as you noted, Alex Jones has been ordered to pay $1.5 billion to these families. This is a combination of rulings that he had been found for defamation, for emotional distress. Now, Alex Jones until now had been fighting against the liquidation of his assets. He tried to do other things in bankruptcy courts to have them reorganize his assets, reorganize his company. But this was a sort of surprise decision that came late yesterday, where he did ask the court to help him start liquidating his personal assets. Now, the families had requested this. Instead of to allow this reorganization, they had requested that the court liquidate his assets, especially as there had been reporting by both the Associated Press and the New York Times Times that he was continuing to spend lavishly, and also that he was allegedly possibly trying to transfer some of his money to members of his families to keep it out of the hands of the creditors. But it seems that the mounting pressure just got to the point that he recognized he needed to liquidate his assets. We saw hints of this last week on his InfoWars conspiracy show. He started to break down in sort of bizarre tears last week, saying that the feds were going to come to shut down his show.
Wouldn't you want to own the rights to the InfoWars library? Is this funny or sad? I mean, it's fucking hilarious. Wait, what? CNN followed the dude role-playing as Border Patrol. He collects IDs in a secret location.
But now we know that what this likely was pointing to was the fact that he was going to need to liquidate his assets. I should note, though, that even if all of his assets are liquidated, even if all of the company's assets are liquidated, it is unlikely to reach that 1.
I know his tears are most likely fake because he's a phenomenal actor, but it makes me feel good thinking that they're real. So in my headcanon, he's actually literally crying.
$5 billion that these families are owed.
All right. Hadass Gold, thanks so much.
We did not.
InfoWars is worth at least $200 billion. Hell yeah, brother. Having the access to every goddamn brain broken patriot is... I think what ends up happening is the most reasonable thing, which is the CIA, by, I don't know, some clandestine shell corporations, ends up purchasing InfoWars and keeps it afloat, and things don't really change at all. You know, I do personally believe that Alex Jones is perhaps a CIA operative anyway. So it's crazy he's sobbing like this. I would never let enemies revel in my downfall, fake or not. Yuck.